topic of climate change has become a highly debated and contentious issue, with many accusing scientists and the mainstream media of lying to the public about the severity and consequences. While it may seem extreme to suggest that these entities are intentionally deceiving us, there are valid concerns and motivations that may contribute to the dissemination of misleading information. To understand this issue, it is essential to examine the complex web of interests, biases, and pressures that influence the way climate change is presented to the public. One primary reason for the alleged lies about climate change is the significant amount of funding provided by governments, corporations, and special interest groups. These organizations often have vested interests in the outcome of climate change research and policies, which can lead to biased and selective reporting of findings. For instance, fossil fuel companies have been known to fund research that downplays the role of human activity in climate change, while governments may prioritize studies that support their existing policies. This creates an environment where scientists may feel pressured to produce results that align with the interests of their funders, rather than pursuing objective truth. The mainstream media also plays a significant role in shaping public perception of climate change. However, the way news outlets report on the issue is often influenced by their own biases, agendas, and commercial interests. Sensationalized headlines and cherry-picked data can create a distorted view of the science, either exaggerating or downplaying the severity of climate change. Additionally, the 24-hour news cycle and the need for constant content can lead to a focus on controversy and debate, rather than nuanced and accurate reporting. This can result in the amplification of fringe voices and misinformation, which can further polarize the public and undermine trust in scientific expertise. Another factor contributing to the perceived lies about climate change is the complexity of the issue itself. Climate science is a multifaceted and rapidly evolving field, with many variables and uncertainties involved. This can make it challenging for scientists to communicate their findings in a clear and concise manner, and for the media to accurately report on the research. The use of technical jargon, statistical models, and probabilistic language can create confusion and misinterpretation, which can be exploited by those with vested interests in misrepresenting the science. Furthermore, the polarization of climate change as a political issue has created an environment where facts are often secondary to ideology and partisanship. Politicians and pundits may selectively present data and research to support their pre-existing views, while dismissing or discrediting opposing evidence. This has led to a situation where the scientific consensus on climate change is often distorted or denied, with some individuals and groups promoting conspiracy theories about the alleged hoax of climate change. It is essential to note that the vast majority of climate scientists agree that human-caused climate change is real, and that it poses significant risks to the environment, human health, and the economy. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC) has consistently reported that the evidence for human-caused climate change is overwhelming, and that urgent action is needed to mitigate its effects. However, the persistence of misinformation and disinformation about climate change has hindered efforts to address the issue, and has contributed to a lack of public trust in scientific expertise. In conclusion, while it is not accurate to suggest that all scientists and mainstream media outlets are intentionally lying to the public about climate change, it is clear that there are complex factors at play that can contribute to the dissemination of misleading information. The influence of funding, biases, and commercial interests can shape the way research is conducted and reported, while the complexity of the issue and the polarization of climate change as a political issue can create confusion and misinterpretation. To address these challenges, it is essential to promote transparency, accountability, and critical thinking in the way climate change is reported and communicated to the public. By supporting independent, fact-based journalism and advocating for evidence-based policies, we can work towards a more informed and nuanced public discourse on this critical issue.